team of the Netherlands, Johan Cruyff, when I was kid. Great team. Guys, when we learn something, the thing that the challenge that we face actually is that when we learn something, on the moment we learn it, we think we will remember it forever. That's human being, okay? You tell me something now on the spot. If I have to bet or to confirm that I will remember it, I'm pretty sure, I'm sincere that I will remember, okay? But actually we don't. We don't. I'm sure that it happens to you that sometimes you watch something on YouTube and then after 5 minutes you say, but I watched already this thing. And during the 5 minutes, you didn't realize it, but only after a certain time watching it, you realize it. Or you start a season of a series that actually you already watched that season. And you realize that after 3 episodes, that, hey, I watched this one. Our memory is not strong. There are things that we remember, there are things we don't remember. And amazingly, sometimes we remember things that are very not significant, okay? That are, something that you remember, but you don't even know why you remember that, and it has no special effect, but you remember it, and it comes to you from time to time to your brain, and you just don't remember it. And there are things that sometimes you meet friends and they tell you, hey, you remember 3 years ago we did this, then. No, I don't remember. There is something about training. In the training industry, there is a saying is that when people finish a training, they already, at the end of the training, let's say you make a course of 2, 3, 4, 5 days, or you make Zetta camp, at the end of the course, you already forgot 50% of what you learned. 50% is already gone. The only 50% remain is the one that you have been regularly used, that put it in instead of putting it in a cache memory, is putting it in a memory that is more long-term memory of your brain. 50% is lost at the end of the training. 2 weeks later, it's a total of 80% is lost. 2 years later is 90%. 3 years later, people don't even remember they get the training. That's a reality, okay? That's a reality. You remember only if you really use it, even if it comes frequently to your brain, okay? So there are some techniques for that, and I will share with you now a very little tip that you probably already use for some of you, and some of you heard about it and never really used it. And it's so easy and actually so fun to do. I'm talking about flashcards. Who has heard or used flashcard before? Have you used flashcard before? Flashcard, Mimi, yes. Let me browse everyone. Activate your camera, raise your hand to tell me, or you can just click on the, raise your hand. There is a raise your hand button in the, so at least I will know, okay, if you ever use flashcard in your learning process. Okay, not so many, I'm not surprised. Flashcard is very, very effective. And it's so effective and so common that Google Slide has made a template for flashcards. You can start your flashcard immediately on using Google Slide, okay? Let me share my screen and show you. The last time I used flashcard is when I prepared the certification for AWS. I didn't invent it Okay, it's just come like this as a template. If you Google flashcard, Google slide template, you will find it. You will find exactly this one. Here, I just change the text, of course. And when you go in, when you go in the slideshow, like for example this one, you go on a slideshow, it become a kind of flashcard. Like, okay, uh, the difference between S3 Glacier Vault and S3 Object Log. Okay, that's one of the questions that come at the certification. Okay, so you just click and see. Okay, the Vault is you cannot change log policy. Object log you can change log policy. Okay, that's it. It's that simple as that. Okay, uh, then there are things like that you can arrange it. Uh, you can make it like, for example, this one, is AWS Access Advisor, what it is. Okay, so in your own words, you really see. And when you have 5 minutes, you know, you just go through it. Okay, and okay, what is Elastic Beanstalk? Actually, is a platform as a service. That's the kind of thing that, of course, it doesn't tell you everything because you need to follow the course to understand. Okay, is not also a tool to teach, but it's a personal tool for you to remember. Okay, to remember in the first place because you are the one making it. Okay, you are the one taking your notes. Okay, like for example, this one is S3 storage class is so complicated, it's so different factors. Okay, so I made this kind of thing and then I memorize it. Honestly, now I took the certification in November. Yeah, September actually. Okay, many things I don't even remember. Okay, because I didn't use the flashcard for months. Okay, but believe me, when I went to the certification, I knew all my cards. Okay, and it allowed me to have an excellent score. Okay, I got 912. Okay, which it's enough to have 750 to get the certification. So I got it with flying colors, not because I'm a genius, but like for example, this one, it's a question: is what is the service for 3D, the 3D service for augmented reality and virtual reality of AWS? AWS Sumerian. Okay, that's the question that comes, and you know if you know, you know. If you don't know, too bad for you. You got zero at the question. Okay, things like this. Things that are very personal. Uh, and this one is really your way of, like for example, for me is the 5 principle, and I got them here. So it's my colors, my way of doing it. So I remember it easily. And I did like that, like for example, this one, waff, because waff waff is like a dog barking, okay? So waff is the fierce dog for me. And what is waff, okay, is, that's the kind of thing that you remember, okay? And when you're on it, things like that you create your own to understand the region thing, and then you can this kind of memo way to remember, like ECR, is for store, ECS is for run. I detected that there is a kind of cross thing, and then I say, okay, now I will remember. And when the question happened, I remembered. Sometimes it's just copy paste something, but the best way is to do it yourself, to reproduce, and to make things like that, because you remember that you did it. Okay, that's let me find if there is any other thing fun. And I made some colors just to make it, a bit, sometimes I make it big. Like probably this one is because I tried to remember and I was not able to remember, so I really, make it so big and so, things like that you will remember because it's you. Like for example, Amazon Detective, I went to the web to check for the silhouette of Sherlock Holmes, okay, and to remember what is Amazon Detective, okay, and to make my own thing, okay. So that's something that you need, I believe, to have this reflex when you learn something. Make your own notes. Make your own notes in your own way and make it something that you can get back to it very easily, very quickly, and very personally. It has to be personal. Like, for example, this one, those flashcards, um, when I do it in a slideshow, okay, it might work. It might work for me, okay, but it might not work for someone else because maybe it's not the color he's interested in. It's not the work. This one is my own words, okay, my own notes, okay. So that's the kind of thing that uh, you need to make this effort. Some people may say, well, but it's slower to learn. No, because the speed is not the speed of your progress, okay? The speed will be evaluated at the end when you are required to do something and that you will need to remember. This is when the speed will be important. And that speed will be short, will be high speed, okay, if you have spent the time to invest your time in your learning, okay. We all learn every day. We learn new features, we learn new functions, we learn new methodologies, new things happening. At the QA, we have new checklists to make, and then we have to understand the checklist. You know, things sometimes someone is doing the checklist is his own way, but when you go through it, you realize something is not very clear. You can take your own notes, okay, and your own comments on that. Then you will remember for the next time, because unfortunately our memory is not the one that is the same memory that a computer. Our memory is very volatile, okay, and it doesn't last long. It never lasts long. Never, never, never. Okay, so get your note if you like the flashcard concept. Some people like, some people don't like, but for those who like, for those who take the time to adapt the flashcard system to your own way of doing, it's extremely effective. Extremely effective. When you learn a language, when you learn a technology, when you learn vocabularies, of course, when you do a certification, there are questions about terms. Okay, you need to understand the terms. You need to understand some concept of functionalities. Okay. By the way, I just want to remind you guys that we have now a channel on Telegram called Zetta Dev News, where I post every day one interesting thing about development. So, guys, if you're interested to learn more and to get some news, I hope those news are interesting for you. If you're not, you can leave the group, no problem. It's, anyway, it's your choice. But here I select every day one news that is relevant to what we are doing. Okay, so guys, you can go through it, okay, and of course, let's promote it as a social channel, okay, and soon we're gonna have thousands of members, and we will be able to post our recruitment and our company news on this channel also, and it's gonna be free because we own it now. All right, guys. So I hope, of course, you got a great weekend, and I hope this week will be another amazing week. Okay, and don't forget that whenever you learn something, when you're in situation to learn, take note. Take note for you. You will be the one able to retrieve your notes. Cheers, guys. Let's make it happen. All right. Zetta Byte is in our heart. And guess what? We are the heart of Zetta Byte. Cheers, guys.